Play with so many different great entertainers, and it's good to broaden your music ability.
James Burton earned his reputation as one of the most respected session guitarists in the entire history of rock and roll music. Throughout his remarkable career, he worked alongside legendary artists like Ricky Nelson and Elvis Presley, as well as numerous other musicians who shaped the sound of American popular music. His exceptional work with these artists established what many consider to be the gold standard for professional guitar playing. Burton's signature technique on the Telecaster guitar was something truly special, as he managed to blend the precision and clarity that came from country music with the raw attitude and energy of rock and roll. The way he bent strings and used the chicken-picking technique became highly influential, inspiring countless guitar players across multiple generations around the world. When someone with Burton's credentials and experience in the music industry decides to name his favorite guitarists, everyone in the musical community pays very close attention. His opinions carry tremendous weight because of everything he accomplished and all the musicians he worked with throughout his long career. When Burton finally revealed his personal list of 10 favorite guitarists, the choices he made reflected something important about his musical background and values. His selections showed his deep roots in country music and rockabilly, the genres that shaped his own playing style and approach to the guitar. Burton has always maintained a humble and generous perspective when it comes to discussing other guitar players. He believes that every guitar player brings something valuable to music, and he thinks they are all great in their own unique ways. What he finds particularly wonderful about the guitar playing community is that every guitarist is different from one another. Each player has their own voice, their own style, and their own way of expressing themselves through their instrument. This diversity is what makes the guitar such a rich and varied instrument in popular music. Burton's list was not the kind of thing you might expect from a typical rock star just naming the most obvious or popular choices. Instead, Burton carefully studied the guitar masters who valued taste and musicality over flashy displays of technique. His selections demonstrate a clear philosophy about what makes guitar playing truly great. He believes that great playing should always serve the songs rather than being about showing off or drawing attention to the guitarist. These particular guitarists taught Burton valuable lessons about how melody and tone are far more important than playing fast or executing complicated techniques. Burton deeply respects guitarists who can play their parts flawlessly without making mistakes, no matter how many times they have to perform the same piece. For Burton, musical intelligence always beats technical complexity. His list includes pioneering figures from country music, legendary rockabilly players, and musicians who created completely original voices that had a lasting influence on American music. Starting with his 10th choice, Burton selected Scotty Moore, the guitarist who essentially created the rockabilly guitar style while backing Elvis Presley during the revolutionary early years at Sun Records. Moore's groundbreaking work on the early Elvis hit songs established much of the basic vocabulary that rock guitarists would use for decades to come. He played Gibson hollow body guitars with a technique that was heavily influenced by country music traditions. The opening music he played was absolutely amazing, and fans would be in awe while Elvis made his way through the crowd to reach the stage. Burton studied Moore's recordings very carefully when he was a young player, still learning his craft and developing his own approach to the instrument. Moore's guitar parts on classic songs demonstrated incredible taste and remarkable restraint. He never overplayed his parts or tried to compete with Elvis's powerful and distinctive vocals. Instead, Moore created memorable musical phrases and licks that made the songs more exciting without ever drawing attention away from the singing, which remained the central focus. Burton particularly loved how Moore was able to combine the picking techniques from country music with the feeling and emotion of blues music.
What made Moore truly special in Burton's eyes was his crucial role in literally inventing the language of rock guitar. The phrases and techniques Moore created are still being used by rock guitarists today. Burton has stated that Moore laid down the blueprint that all the guitarists who came after him would follow. The recording sessions Moore participated in at Sun Records literally changed the course of music history. And his direct and profound influence on Burton's own playing style cannot be overstated. For his eighth choice, Burton selected Grady Martin, a guitarist who played on an enormous number of country and rock recording sessions in Nashville and became one of the most recorded guitarists in music history. Martin's incredible versatility as a player allowed him to perform any musical style with complete perfection. His work with artists like Marty Robbins, Patsy Cline, and various rockabilly performers showcased his total mastery of the instrument. People who worked with Martin remembered him as a good Christian man and a genuinely great person to collaborate with in the studio. Everyone got along well with him, which made the recording process much smoother and more enjoyable. Burton carefully studied Martin's extensive session work and learned extremely valuable lessons about how to adapt to many different musical situations and contexts. Martin's guitar playing was always tasteful and perfectly suited to whatever song he was working on at the moment. He never tried to impose his own personality or style on recordings in a way that would distract from the artist's vision. Martin deeply understood that session guitarists exist to serve the artists and producers they work with, rather than to promote themselves or their own musical ideas. Burton particularly loved how Martin could instantly switch between country, rock, pop, and jazz styles without any difficulty or transition period. What impressed Burton the most was Martin's unwavering professionalism and his incredible consistency across the thousands of recording sessions he participated in throughout his career. Martin played perfectly every single time, without fail, no matter what the circumstances were. Burton has said that Martin showed everyone what a professional session guitarist should be like. Martin's influence on the entire Nashville guitar playing scene was enormous and has lasted to this day.
Burton's seventh choice was Luther Perkins, the guitarist who created the distinctive boom-chicka-boom guitar style that became inseparable from Johnny Cash's sound. His simple yet hypnotic rhythm playing on songs like I Walk the Line proved that sometimes less really is more in music. Perkins played Fender guitars with minimal effects and achieved maximum impact through his straightforward approach. Burton greatly appreciated how Perkins could create instantly recognizable guitar parts using just a few carefully chosen notes. Perkins never played solos or complicated parts that would draw attention to himself. His rhythm guitar work locked perfectly with the drums, creating the signature sound that everyone associates with Johnny Cash's music. Perkins understood on a deep level that simplicity and solid timing mattered far more than technical displays of virtuosity. Burton loved how Perkins made the rhythm guitar the single most important element in Cash's music, rather than treating it as a background component. What made Perkins truly special was his complete dedication to serving Johnny Cash's songs without any ego getting in the way. He played the same simple and effective style for many years without ever trying to impress anyone or show off his abilities. Burton praised Perkins for understanding that great guitar playing means doing your job perfectly and consistently. Perkins influenced countless country and rockabilly guitarists through his minimalist approach, proving that you don't need to play a million notes to make a powerful musical statement. For his sixth selection, Burton chose Eldon Shamblin, who played electric guitar with Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys, and was a pioneer in developing jazz-influenced Western swing guitar. His sophisticated chord voicings and single-note runs had an enormous influence on country guitarists. Shamblin played with incredible harmonic knowledge that went well beyond what was typical in country music at that time.
Burton studied Shamblin's work very carefully and learned a great deal about jazz chords and sophisticated musical arrangements from analyzing his playing. Shamblin's performances on Western swing classics showcased perfect technique combined with deep musical understanding. He could play either rhythm or lead guitar with equal mastery, switching between the two roles effortlessly. Shamblin brought the sophistication of jazz harmony to country music without losing the essential country feeling that made the music emotionally resonant. Burton appreciated how Shamblin elevated Western swing guitar to the status of a true art form. What made Shamblin truly irreplaceable was his unique combination of jazz knowledge and country soul. He understood complex harmony and sophisticated chord progressions, but he always played with warmth and the swinging feeling that made the music dance. Burton called Shamblin the most sophisticated country guitarist who ever lived. Shamblin influenced many generations of country players who wanted to incorporate more harmonic depth and complexity into their playing. Burton's fifth choice was Merle Travis, who invented the fingerstyle country guitar technique and influenced every country picker who came after him. His innovative thumb and finger technique allowed him to play bass lines and melodies at the same time, creating a full sound from a single guitar. Travis wrote classic songs like 16 Tons while simultaneously pioneering new guitar techniques that would become standard in country music. Burton studied Travis obsessively and worked hard to incorporate fingerstyle approaches into his own playing style and technique. Travis's guitar work showcased incredible independence between his thumb and his fingers, with each digit playing a different role in creating the complete musical picture. His technique was actually quite complex when you analyzed it closely, but it always sounded natural and easy when he performed. Travis could play country, folk, blues, and jazz styles equally well, demonstrating remarkable versatility. Burton loved how Travis made these difficult techniques serve the songs rather than just using them to show off his technical ability to audiences. What made Travis truly irreplaceable was his completeness as both a musician and an innovator. He wrote memorable songs, sang effectively, played revolutionary guitar, and even participated in designing new guitar models. Burton stated that Travis created the foundation for all of modern country guitar playing. Travis's influence spread across country, rockabilly, and folk music, and his fingerstyle approach inspired countless guitarists all around the world. For his fourth selection, Burton chose Les Paul, who revolutionized electric guitar through his groundbreaking innovations in both recording technology and playing technique. His experiments with multi-track recording fundamentally changed how music could be created and produced in the studio. Paul played with incredible speed and precision on his hit recordings with Mary Ford, demonstrating technical mastery. Burton recognized Paul as a true pioneer who advanced guitar playing and recording technology equally, making contributions to both fields. Paul's guitar work showcased blazing technique that was always combined with strong melodic sense, rather than just being fast for the sake of speed. His Gibson guitars became some of the most famous instruments in the entire history of rock music. Paul constantly experimented with new sounds and recording approaches, never satisfied with just repeating what had worked before. Burton appreciated how Paul never stopped innovating or pushing boundaries throughout his remarkably long career that spanned many decades. What made Paul truly irreplaceable was his dual role as both a guitarist and an innovator. He literally changed how guitars were built and designed, and he transformed how music could be recorded in the studio. Burton praised Paul's complete dedication to advancing both guitar design and recording technology. Paul influenced guitarists in rock, country, and jazz equally, transcending genre boundaries. His innovations in recording techniques made modern studio recording possible and changed the entire music industry forever. Burton's third choice was Danny Gotton, a guitarist who combined country, jazz, rockabilly, and blues into one complete and unified guitar style. His technical ability was absolutely stunning and remarkable, but it always served musical purposes rather than just being empty displays of technique. Gottin could play absolutely anything on guitar flawlessly, demonstrating complete mastery. Burton recognized Gottin as possibly the most technically gifted guitarist alive during his career, which is remarkable praise coming from someone of Burton's stature. Gottin's playing on his solo albums showcased mind-blowing technique that was always combined with perfect taste and musical judgment. His Telecaster guitar produced an incredible range of tones, from sweet and gentle country sounds to screaming rock tones. He could switch between completely different musical styles instantly without ever losing his musicality or emotional connection. Burton loved how Gottin honored all the traditional guitar styles while simultaneously pushing technical boundaries constantly. What made Gottin truly special was his rare combination of virtuoso technique and deep respect for guitar traditions and history. He had carefully studied the country, jazz, and rockabilly masters who came before him. Burton called Gottin the greatest unknown guitarist in America, suggesting that he deserved far more recognition than he received.
Gottin influenced serious session players and guitar enthusiasts who could appreciate complete mastery of the instrument. His tragic and untimely death robbed the music world of incredible talent that still had so much more to offer. For his second choice, Burton selected Chet Atkins, who became Burton's personal mentor and the biggest single influence on his playing style and approach to music. Atkins achieved complete mastery of fingerstyle guitar and created what became known as the Nashville sound that dominated country music for many years. His advanced technique allowed him to play complete musical arrangements on just one guitar, functioning almost like an entire band. Burton actually studied directly with Atkins and learned from the master himself throughout his career, receiving personal instruction and guidance. Atkins' playing showcased incredible versatility across country, jazz, and even classical musical styles. His Gretsch guitars produced warm and clear tones that became the standard sound for country music. Atkins never stopped learning and experimenting with new approaches, always growing as a musician. Burton particularly appreciated Atkins's generosity as a teacher and his sophisticated musical knowledge that went well beyond typical country playing. What made Atkins truly irreplaceable was his important role as a mentor to younger guitarists like Burton. He shared his knowledge freely and generously, and he constantly encouraged others to develop their own voices. Burton stated that Atkins taught him everything about being a professional guitarist, not just the technical aspects, but also the professional attitudes and behaviors. Atkins's influence Burton's entire approach to both music and his career in the industry. Their friendship shaped Burton's life permanently and profoundly. Finally, for his number one choice, Burton selected Hank Garland as his ultimate guitar hero and what he considered to be the greatest session guitarist in the entire history of Nashville. Garland's work on countless country and rock recordings set standards for perfection that seemed almost impossible to match. Garland played with stunning technique and complete musical intelligence, combining technical ability with deep understanding. Burton places Garland at the very top of his list because Garland managed to combine technical mastery with perfect taste and total professionalism. Garland's guitar playing on songs like Elvis Presley's Little Sister and various Patsy Cline recordings showcased genius-level guitar work that was simply breathtaking. His Gibson guitars produced tones that were simultaneously warm and powerful, a difficult balance to achieve. Garland could read music notation perfectly and could also improvise brilliantly, showing mastery of both written and spontaneous music.
Burton studied every single Garland recording obsessively and tried his best to match Garland's consistency and overall excellence. What made Garland truly irreplaceable was his unique combination of virtuoso technique and session professionalism. He played perfectly on every single recording without letting ego interfere with the work. Burton stated that Garland showed him what a guitarist could achieve through complete dedication to the craft. Tragically, Garland's career was ended prematurely by a serious car accident that left him unable to continue playing at the same level. His influence on Burton specifically, and on Nashville guitar playing in general, was absolutely profound and permanent, lasting far beyond his active playing years. James Burton's carefully considered list ultimately proves an important point about guitar playing. Technical excellence and musical taste must work together perfectly to create truly great music. These 10 guitarists that Burton selected all managed to serve songs faithfully while simultaneously displaying incredible ability and unwavering professionalism. They never let their technical skills overshadow the music itself, and they always understood that their job was to make the song better rather than to showcase their own abilities. This philosophy clearly shaped Burton's own approach to music throughout his legendary career, and it explains why he became so respected in the music industry. His choices reflect the values of taste, consistency, professionalism, and dedication that defined his own playing and made him one of the most important session guitarists in rock and roll history.